Hey guys, I just wanted to come on real quick. I just watched the movie or the documentary Dark Girls. It is really good. On YouTube, the trailer was like circulating, but like I don't know, I felt like it was one-sided. But after watching it on the Oprah network, it's really, really good and very educational. It's just really good. One thing I learned, like it's very educational. Um, Usually on YouTube, you hear people repeat the same things over and over again, like, oh, the dark skin, light skin thing happened from the inside slave and the field slave. Like, you hear that over and over again. It gets annoying, it gets played out. But this got into it, stated that, and then kept it moving. Like, people focus on the indoor slaves and the outdoor slaves too much, and it's too annoying. But finding out other things such as Snow and Glow organization, which stands for if your skin was as fair or light as snow and your hair blew in the wind, you could join this organization. I've never heard of that before. I've never heard people talk about that on YouTube. I've heard, the paperback, the brown paper bag test and all that, but Snow and Blow, I've never heard of that. I don't know. I just felt like it's gonna be this sad, depressing thing about like, oh, dark skinned girls, we suck. Nobody wants us. But it was so much better than that. One thing I did wish that they talked about was people claiming different ethnicities for some reason. I think that's so lame. But at the same time, I just wanted to know where does that come from, and then it did get into Latin Americans and Black people worldwide. Like in Latin America, they have this thing called um, enhancing the race, which is so gross to hear. I like that it was bold. Like there was no sugarcoating. It was just like this is what people think. This is what people say. Um, I don't know the Latin American thing. I get it now because you always hear people say, "Oh, I'm not black. I'm whatever." But just to think like a whole country or a society really thinks that in order to be a better race, you have to be with a non-black person. And it did also talk about how people notice things like how, hey, black people usually tend to try to make sure their child doesn't come out too dark or too light. Like you usually see a light skinned person and a dark skinned person together, but you rarely see two light skinned people or two dark skinned people. And that's probably because you want like a child that's not too black or too fair. And then it also got into dating and like how people literally try to find people. Like people try to make designer babies. Like if I sleep with this person, then my child will probably look like that. And that's kind of, you hear it, but it's kind of weird and bold that people really sit back and try to mate with certain people just to have a child that looks a certain way. That's like crazy. And um it wasn't just the same old documentary. It was actually really good, very educational. Um, it didn't focus on hair typing, which was great, but it does talk a little bit about like how certain features, like we're all poor. Like let's say we're all poor, but as a poor person, at least I can claim that I have good hair or that my skin tone is this, and that's where all this light skin, dark skin comes in. One thing I really didn't like about the documentary is that it didn't get the perspective of a dark skinned guy. Like where in a point, like where in your life do you feel like it's okay to say horrible things about women my complexion? And it even got into social media things. Like I remember on Tumblr there was like someone wrote, "Oh, look at this African girl getting ready for prom. This dark skinned African girl getting ready for prom." And then when you click on the photo, it was a photo of a cockroach with rhinestones on it. And it just, and in the documentary, it also talked about how these black boys would get on Facebook and say how they want light skinned women or they want white women because it's a fact that they're prettier. And then one of the dark skin girl wrote, "You can like whoever you want, just don't discriminate against other races." And then another black boy chimed in and said, "Just face the facts. White skin looks better on women." And that's interesting to me because when you say horrible things about women of your own race, it applies to you. You say light skinned women and white women are better, but white women and light skinned women come from light skinned white men. So are you saying that white men are better than you as a black man? And that was interesting. And then they also got into interracial dating, how some white men just like black women. It was a very small segment. It wasn't like, oh, you need to date white. But one of the white guys did notice that, like in rap music, how rappers promote being a strong black man and how they're kings and how they're amazing, but at the same time, they're bashing the women of their own skin tone. And their ultimate goal is to be with a white or fair skinned woman who doesn't reflect what they look like. And I thought it was interesting that he pointed that out. And I'm also glad that they didn't talk about hip hop and how they talked about it a little bit about how the video vixens are usually light skinned. But to me, I'm glad they didn't focus on that because if you want to be a video booty model, pick the white girls, please. Get the white girls, get the light skinned girls, leave us dark skinned girls out of the videos. I don't understand how black teenagers and women are upset that they're not being portrayed as hoes in a music video. It's a music video. If you want a white girl, please put the Spanish girls, put the mixed girls. Don't put black girls like me. And I really liked it. They didn't focus on the same old, same old. The video vixens, the good hair, bad hair, the indoor, outdoor slaves. They didn't focus on that. They just focused on you as a person. And one of the interesting is when one of a woman, when she was younger, she honestly felt because she was dark skinned, who would want me? And that's shocking that someone could honestly think, look at my skin, who in the world would want me? And that was interesting to hear her perspective on that. And they did talk about other ethnicities, Latin American and Korean. One Korean girl. I do wish they had other ethnicities who dealt with the same issues. Like I know in India, I wish they had Indian people or people in the Middle East because not too long ago they were promoting a commercial for um, a shower gel for bleaching your vagina. Like women in India are literally buying this product up to lighten up your vagina. And I wish that was included, but I think the documentary was made before this product was even brought to our attention in the West. But like, yeah, people in India have it just as bad as black people worldwide. Like, if I could, I like find the commercial. Like, legit, there's a commercial for bleaching your vagina for women in India. Like, yeah, but it's really really great. It's way better than what I thought it was going to be. And yeah, they talked about the guys who don't like dark skinned women. And I did notice that one of the guys who did say, you know what, I do like dark skinned women, he sort of backtracked when he noticed that all of his other friends didn't like dark skinned women, which is interesting. Like, this might be a facade. Like, oh, I don't like dark skinned women, but behind closed doors, you're doing everything possible to get with a dark skinned girl. And to add to that, if you are a dark skinned girl, if a guy says he does not like you because you're dark skinned, but when his friends are gone, he's trying to make out with you, no. I hate when women chase guys who blatantly disrespect them. Back to the social media thing, I'm all over the place, but like it was really good. I hate on Tumblr. There's a photograph of a dark skinned girl, and it says, "Dear Tumblr, dark skinned girls are pretty too." Like, F you. I hate that poster. I hate the t shirts that say dark skin and beautiful. Like, I hate that. Like, it seems like you're so thirsty to be accepted, like the light skinned girls on Tumblr. If they don't want you, keep it moving and find someone else who does want you. And I think that's where the white guys came in. Like, for a guy who says he doesn't want you, There are other men who do want you. And I'm glad that was included. Like, newsflash, other men want you. Don't be the side chick or the secret chick. And don't be the thirsty chick. I hate that so much about Tumblr. Like, oh, dark skinned girls are pretty too. Like, no shit. Like, I feel like if you say it enough, then it might penetrate their scalps and it might be true. Like, it is true. You don't need to, like, keep saying it out loud because that just makes you seem like, are you just saying that to hopefully it might be true? Like, no, it's true. You don't need to have a. I hate that poster so much. But yeah, I'm gonna try to leave a link to the actual documentary because I know it's like available right now. So if you don't have OWN, you can possibly watch it through this live stream. So yeah, and tell me what you think about it. It was really good. That's my opinion. 2 thumbs up. I'm gonna watch it again. So thanks for watching.